folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Football Manager 2021 series Conquering the Euro with OGC Nice. Today, it is the third episode of Season 4 and today we have two massive matches and the goals have started to dry up. We're in decent form and maybe the goals drying up isn't really going to help us. We've got a big game against Marseille away from home at the Stade Orange Velodrome and then we host Saint-Etienne, last year's champions, in the 13th game of the season. But as I've said, it's been a decent run of form since the last episode. We played against Lille and Chamois-Niortais, and since then we've had one of each result. Admittedly, I'd have liked to have took 9 points from these 3 games, but it's not quite happened. We played against Strasbourg first off, and what happens for us, it seems to happen quite a lot against the lesser teams. They defend, we've only got 1 man up front, so we struggle a bit. Might look to play 2 men up front, maybe against these smaller teams. We drew 0-0. And then the goals drew up even more against Stade Rennais. They've had a really bad start to the season, but they got 3 points against us. They were in 16th when they played us. And to be honest, we didn't have the quality up front, and they went and nicked it late on. But then we played against Stade Brestois, who have had a good start to the league season. They still sit in 8th place, 1 place above us. But again, we were in 5th or 6th when we played them. And they played pretty decently, but Terem Mofi came into the side. We had a bit of a niggle for our star man up front, Brian Angulo. So Mofi got a game, and he had a goal ruled out for offside, but he did get one late in the second half, which pulled us after 11 games, 4 points away from 5th. I've got a bit of a fear that it's not going to go too well today, because Marseille are playing well, Saint-Etienne are the reigning champions, but we've just got to give it our all, really. No changes transfer-wise, etc. since the last episode, so if we look at the side today, we've got Hugo Sousa in goal, both Aimable and... who's the other one? Gravelon are both out of the side. Gravelon suspended. So Raul Jo plays at right back. We've got Fernandez and Trusticong at centre backs and Latomba at left back. With our normal team then, really. We've got Chalobah, Mokaina, Sakaria, Dolberg. Because Coman is injured, Satona comes in for him. And then Brian Angulo is the man up front. But considering we are playing against Marseille today, especially being away from home, I'll probably look to get a point. Our defence isn't too bad at all. So I think we'll set ourselves up to counter-attack. We don't want to shoot on sight as such. Just want to make sure that... I'd say we're a bit more disciplined today. I think that's fair enough. Try and get a result here against Marseille, whether it's a draw or even if we nick a late win. I doubt it, but yeah, we'll pump this. We've got nothing to lose. Let's show everyone how good we are now. Most of the time, I would say to the lads, sod it. Let's attack, and because the best form of defence is attack sometimes. But ultimately, I do think that realistically, if we do attack, we're just setting ourselves up for failure. Now, I do apologise. It is quite a bright day out there, actually, so the camera's not too great, but I can't do a lot about that. If I close the curtains, the camera goes all dodgy, so I'm not going to bother doing that. But we did beat Marseille 4-0, if you remember, the last time we played them, which is quite incredible, really. I can't see the same happening today. We are nearly half an hour in. They've had 6 shots. We haven't had a single shot, but possession-wise, we're certainly not being dominated. We've had 43% of possession, so we'll certainly take that. And in the 38th minute, we registered our first shot, and the first half was very drab. And I know it's not the most exciting video in the world, but I'll be brutally honest, if the second half goes the same, and it's a 0-0 at the end, I'm not too bothered, really, because, again, we get a point, we'd have probably lost, and a point's better than nothing, isn't it, in this sort of game. But absolutely no highlights so far, 58 minutes in. Is this going to be a highlight? It is. Marseille put the ball in. Ooh, very nearly. First goal of the game. But we are going to make a substitution. Mokaina's quite tired, so we'll bring Thomas on for him. Apart from that, we'll keep things the same at the moment, because clearly, keeping things the same has gone well. Looks like PSG are going to drop points. They're losing to Stade Rennais, who we lost to. And Stade Rennais now 2-0 up, so another shock there. 71 minutes in, it seems we're going to get our first serious highlight. Sakaria into Angulo. And that is probably going to be our best chance we have this game. Marseille, I think, have had 13 shots and obviously not made any of them count. So, hopefully this highlight doesn't go on too long, or else it's going to be that typical counter-attack. And as predicted, just as I say, Jorge Fernandez loses the ball, but Chalobah recovers well, and we look okay. But this could be a chance for Marseille. Corner comes in. Oof. Just a whisker away from goal. I'm going to go defensive now, because it doesn't look like we've got really much to get a win here. So I think I'll just go for the draw. We've bought Dolberg off. I don't remember doing that. That's strange. We've obviously bought him off. Clicked to bring him off unbeknownst when we were meant to have clicked something else. Anyway, we've made the sub. We can't do a lot about it now. Dahlberg's come off for Palmer, which is no problem. Dahlberg was obviously tired, but I maybe would have made another change more defensively minded, given that we'd made one in the midfield. And Marseille make it 1-0, as predicted. Looks like we're going to walk away here with nothing, but that's disappointing. We're just going to go for our typical instructions now. I don't see the point of sitting back. We were only really sitting back to try and get a 0-0. But if Marseille are going to take the lead, we might as well just go forward. I don't care if we lose 2-0 here. We might as well just go for it. Try and get a result. But as I said last time out, I'm feeling at this point, this is our third full season with Nice. And given the start we've had, it looks like it's not going to happen for us here. We're looking to win 3 European leagues, remembering conquering the Euro. And to be brutally honest, I don't think we're going to do it here at Nice. I've assembled a squad that, in my opinion, is pretty good. I don't see the point of splashing out on the cash on anybody else. I guess I'm a man that's really run out of ideas. But ultimately, I don't think that some clubs marry up. Is it meant to be that perhaps Nice never win Ligue 1? I'm not sure, but 3 full seasons in, if we can't get European football this time, I mean, Marseille are 2-0 up now, so we've stayed true to that promise, haven't we? But I do feel that, I mean, a loss today, we're quite a way behind the teams at the top, and based on today's game, I appreciate we set up to get a draw, but we've not really been in it. Okay, possession's been decent, but it's not good enough, and we suffer a defeat against Marseille. Hoping for a bit more against Saint-Etienne. I guess we are at home, which helps out a little bit more. Let's have a look at the run of form they've been in. They've not had the best start, actually, and they're not in a great run of form. They've got 2 games as well before the playoffs, which will be a bit of a benefit, I would say, to us. We've got a nice 9-day period to rest now. They've got to play 2 games, and they are struggling in the Champions League. 1 draw against Ajax, 2 losses against Celtic and Inter. That's a tough group, to be fair, for them to be in, obviously being first seeds. So hopefully we can get a result out of Saint-Etienne, ideally 3 points, because if not, we could really start to fall away from that top 5. If we lose against Saint-Etienne, we're on 17 points, and Monaco could be on as many as 28 points. And at this early stage, to be 11 points behind the top 5, I mean, it's not a good start, is it? So just the one change then for this game against Saint-Etienne. Gravelon comes in for Troost-Ekong, who is injured. He's got a little bit of a niggle, unfortunately, but I don't see much reason to change this side. I think we just play with the same tactic we usually play with, to be brutally honest. See how we get on. But I have to say, openly, that if we go and lose this match today, which it probably could happen, that I am going to actively start looking for a new job, because I just think that, as I've said before, if we go 3 years in here, 3 full years, I appreciate the first season we took over. It's officially season 4 now, but effectively it's season 3, because the first year we took over, we had, 10 games? Effectively, the season was over there. So the fact we finished, I think it was 12th that season, really can't be attributed to us. In the first season, we started bringing our own players in, and really by season 2, we got the squad we wanted. So, as I've said, I'm a man out of ideas, and if it doesn't happen for us today, being 11 points behind at this stage of the season gives us a tough job. But there is a potential job opening that I would be very, very, very interested in. And that is in Holland with PSV Eindhoven. Apparently, the manager there, who's a new gen for some reason, a player that's never played before, somebody called, I don't even know what his name is actually, but anyway, Steven Gerrard's been sacked by Norwich, and he's the favourite to go and take over there. And I think a club like PSV would be a perfect candidate to go and win a title with. I really do. Ultimately, they're arguably an easier club to go and win the title with, I would say, given that they're probably the 2nd or 3rd best club in Holland. And I think if we can get some silverware to us, then we're going to attract bigger clubs. Our problem at the moment is, if we want to go elsewhere, I think Nice is about the best place we can be at the moment, because we haven't really proven any gobsmacking stats, especially like the manager we're up against today, who's won the league with Saint-Etienne. That's massive to have a league title on his CV with a club that, by right, should never have won the league title, but did. A little bit like Leicester, I suppose, a few years ago. In fact, a long time ago in game now, but this has been a really boring game. We've had the superiority over Saint-Etienne, so we might look to put a second striker on. Dahlberg is got a little bit of a niggle anyway, so we'll bring Mofi on as a pressing forward. I think that's a good idea. And we'll make 2 substitutions as well. We'll bring Thomas on for Chalobah this time. I appreciate we usually take Mokaina off, but we'll keep him on. Let's see what he can do from this free kick. I was going to say corner for some reason. It's a decent header from Angulo. Again, really, Angulo is the last straw. I'm happy with the squad we've got. I can't see how we can really improve it. We've got money and we've got money to spend, but when I look at the side and I look at potentially who we can get in to replace some of these guys, I'm thinking, we're not going to get an upgrade. And you can have all the money you want, but sometimes players don't want to join you. And until you start getting European football and the like, it's impossible to do that, ultimately. So we are working under some restraints here, and the first thing we've got to do is improve our performance on the pitch. And to be brutally honest, we've dominated Saint-Etienne today and look like we're going to come out at the most with a point, which isn't good enough. But let's see. We might even come out with less than that. They've got a counter-attack. Cognat on the ball. This is going to be a goal. Oof. Tell you what, it had beat Hugo. It had beaten Hugo. And to be fair, Hugo's a good goalkeeper. We've got a good keeper. We've got a good striker. Our attacking players in general are good. I'm happy with our midfield. I'm happy with our defence. There is not a lot I can do. But the goals really seem to have dried up. If we don't get a goal here, we'll have scored 1 in the last 4 matches. Can Mofi, though, go and get us the 3 points? He can't, unfortunately. We've still got a few minutes left to see if we can change them. We've gone on very attacking because ultimately a point isn't really going to do much for us at this point. But can we get a late goal? Sakaria runs through his own goal. He only has to beat the keeper, but can't. Sakaria, a tackle there, but again, it's not a penalty. And it looks like this one is going to finish in a rather drab 0-0 in a match where we had 15 shots, 5 of them on target. To be fair, they actually had a higher XG than us, which shows the problems we've got. Not happy with our performance because we should have won that. But it's not looking great for us. It really isn't. We've drawn that one. We're 6 points away from that line of 5th. I guess 6th is probably the line we're looking at. And bear in mind, these two have both got a game in hand. And I think that Saint-Etienne have been definitely the happiest of the two sides today. Not a good day for us, really not. But as I said, it's this man here, Murad Obidat, a Jordanian apparently, who has been at PSV for a few years. They've finished second for the last 3 years, so again, that'd be a very good opportunity for us. They seem to have a good side, as they always have. And if that does materialise, I would be absolutely chuffed. But for some reason, I can't quite see. He's not linked himself with the job. I look at what's insecure at the moment and think, well, none of those clubs particularly tickle my fancy. We would be taking a step backward, really, I would argue, going to West Ham. Although, again, they're a good side. Get back into the Premier League, that might help us out. But I think we have to say that in terms of our mission to win these 3 European leagues, maybe this stint at OGC Nice would have been better served staying at Wolves. Possibly, but it's not all over yet for us, I suppose. But it's not been a great day for us today. And this season isn't a write-off, but it's not as good, at least the start anyway, at what we've been looking at doing previously. But if you enjoyed that, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Comment your thoughts as well and subscribe for regular Football Manager 2021 content. There is one episode before Christmas, so I can wish you Merry Christmas before that. But actually, I might not do any videos Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So if this is to be the last video on Football Manager for before Christmas, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. I know it's really tough this year. It's tough on us all worldwide, but 2020 has been a very strange year, and fingers crossed, going into 21, particularly with the vaccine, we've got a bit of a chance. But thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and if I don't see you before, I'll see you on the other side of Crimbo. See you guys later.